Breaking news, Rolex Certified Pre-owned watches will be available at Bucherer boutiques in Switzerland, Austria, Germany, France, Denmark and here in the United Kingdom from this month. And yet another bomb dropped on the Rolex grey market just like that, following a year full of ups and downs like no other for independent dealers. So with authorised dealers now being allowed to sell pre-owned Rolex with Rolex's own seal of approval and guarantee, is this it now for secondary market dealers like myself after a year that frankly has been bad enough? And I've got to be honest, when I first saw this announcement, my initial reaction was, oh shit, well that's great, that's me redundant then overnight, bye. But is that really the case, or is something much bigger happening here? On the 1st of December 2022, Rolex has broken their silence on a program to take the pre-owned watch market by storm, allowing customers to buy watches that have been checked for their working condition, certified as authentic by the brand, and sold with a Rolex 2-year international guarantee. Rolex confirms that because they are built to last, Rolex watches often live several lives, and because they may be worn on new wrists, go figure, the Rolex Certified Pre-owned program now enables retailers in the brand's official distribution network to sell second-hand models that are certified as authentic and which come with a new 2-year international guarantee. So what does this actually mean then for secondary market dealers like myself who are independent and not authorised Rolex approved dealers? Obviously, on the face of it, initially it is scary stuff, because one could imagine that if the authorised dealer is selling pre-owned watches now with a green seal and a 2-year guarantee card with it, then obviously we can't offer that. There's no way that we can offer that. All that we can do are the checks that we usually do for authentication, but we can't apply Rolex's own stamp on it and say it is Rolex that have checked this, other than if of course we send that watch off for a service and we get a service card with it. Once I really had to think about this and what it actually means, I think there's a lot more to it. I actually see this as an attempt for Rolex to power grab and arrest some of that control of the secondary watch market and the prices in that market. Now, of course, over the last 7 or 8 months, we've seen a lot of turbulence in the watch market, and mainly prices for Rolex on second-hand, used, or even in brand new condition have been slumping in value consistently month by month, and particularly in the last month it started to happen again, where prices have started to come down. So the timing of this announcement, I think, is yet again quite genius. Regardless of the current economic situation, obviously, that Rolex can't control, what they can control, seemingly by doing this, is setting the actual prices and values on the secondary market themselves, by actually becoming a player now in the mix with us independent dealers. They're authorised dealers now selling pre-owned watches. What it means is they get to set the price and we just follow. Rolex are finally saying to the authorised dealers, who progressively over the last couple of years have become irritated by the fact that they're not making as much as dealers like me on the secondary market, what Rolex have said to them is, right, okay, now we're going to allow you to have that power to not only sell these brand new, but after 3 years you can sell that particular watch once again on the grey market for probably an inflated price, and you can have a little bit of a piece of the pie, which obviously that pie has been growing rapidly over the last 4 or 5 years, with the vast majority of Rolex models, particularly sports models, stainless steel, in excess of their retail price. And of course, over the last 6 months, we've seen a lot of turbulence and volatility in prices. They've gone up, they've gone down, and they continue to decrease, and that isn't good for the brand. With prices decreasing, it isn't good for the brand, because it actually suggests that demand for Rolex isn't as strong as what it used to be. And Rolex have recognised that they actually rely and depend on the secondary watch market quite heavily for the brand kudos and credibility that the watches have, and this allure and desirability that their watches have brand new at the authorised dealer. The waitlist has almost become an impossible shrine, an impossible goal for many, and that just makes people want Rolex even more. So they've recognized that if prices are actually falling on the secondary market, which actually drives demand on the new market, then that means that maybe potentially demand on the new market might slump as well after a while. So what this is for me is an attempt by Rolex, and quite an ingenious one, at market manipulation. Now, the secondary market for watches in general is absolutely not regulated. It isn't like the stock market where market manipulation is actually illegal. Now, what do we mean by market manipulation? Well, basically it means that there is an insider that has significant influence and power for the price and controlling the price of a particular stock, in this case Rolex, having significant power to control and manipulate the prices that they are going for on the market. If Elon Musk, for example, decided tomorrow to sell half of his Tesla shares back to the market, then the rest of the stock exchange would just hurl into complete panic, because they would be wondering what the hell's going on here. If Elon Musk is selling half of his shares, then clearly there are things that we don't know about as to the health of Tesla stock, or the health of the company in general on their balance sheet, that he knows about, that we don't know about. So we'll actually sell our stock as well, because we'll follow him, because he's an insider. And so the price of Tesla stock overnight plummets quite significantly. Let's say it reduces by half. Elon Musk could then go back to the market the following day and buy back all of his shares at half the price of what he sold them for the day before. That is market manipulation, and that is illegal. But I don't think it's that much different with what Rolex are doing here, with actually now being involved in this secondary market, themselves becoming a grey dealer, that they can control the secondary market prices. And to be honest, all that will happen is that independent dealers like myself, we won't go bust, but we'll just follow the prices that they set. So in a sense, it makes it easier for us to set prices. We just have to beat them. A £20,000 watch that I can sell, suddenly they're selling for £22,000. So it might actually have an impact on the grey market as to inflate prices even more. Because if they're selling a watch at £22,000 that I was selling at £20,000, then I'm thinking, well, why should I sell it at £20,000? I can still beat them and sell it for £21,500. Because Rolex have now got involved with what was considered before a dirty practice by collectors of flipping watches on the secondary market at thousands of pounds above their retail, they're now legitimising that practice. They're now selling those watches at an inflated price themselves. So they're saying, well, no, actually, it's fine that you can do that. There's nothing wrong with the grey watch market, because we're now one of those guys as well. So all it does is add credibility to what I do and legitimise what I do and other independent dealers. So it's, I think, good news for the grey watch market. It is good news for the value of the watches in your collection. And what I believe it will do is actually make Rolex prices on the grey market more resistant now to economic shocks and external factors that, of course, have, for the first time really in the last year, had an impact and created a volatile market. And that hasn't happened before. It has always been the case where watches, generally investment grade watches, for the last 40 years have been a very safe and steady store of wealth. Anyway guys, that concludes today's video. Please go check out beatthewaitlist-watches.com, and I'll see you next time. Take care.